Lincoln offers the updated Nautilus midsize crossover in both a standard gasoline model and this upgraded and more powerful hybrid option. So what sort of fuel economy can you expect cruising out on the highway? Today we find out. Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor. Today we've got the real-world highway fuel economy test on the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus Hybrid. In this test, I'm going to head out on the highway and do 50 miles out and 50 miles back, averaging 70 miles per hour, to get a realistic fuel economy number for this midsize crossover. Before we get started, let's hop out and take a look at it. Thoroughly updated for 2024, and as I said, offering two powertrain options and no soft closed doors, the Lincoln Nautilus. I think it looks pretty good. We've got some nice materials inside. Not 100% sold on the 2-liter turbo hybrid with the CVT yet, but I do think it has some pros and cons. But I'm most curious about what it's going to be able to do cruising on the highway. And we've also got BlueCruise on all the Nautiluses too, so that should be a good selling point for this sort of highway test. So if you do want to see more on the Nautilus, check the link below. We've got a dedicated full review. We've got a review of the 28-speaker Rebel Ultima 3D sound system. And we've got an infotainment breakdown as well on that big screen in front of us. So check the link below if you'd like to see any of those. So why do we do this test? Well, the EPA's highway fuel economy test, which gives, which gives this Nautilus 31 MPG, that test only averages 48 miles per hour. We know there are plenty of people, especially if you live out in the Midwest or one of the western states or something, that do big miles on the highway and would like to know what sort of numbers they can realistically expect here in the real world. So in order to test that out, I'm going to go out on the highway tonight when there's less traffic. I'm going to do 100 miles, come back, fill up at the same pump using the same 3-click fueling method, and get a result. Now, a few things to note for tonight. Outside temperature should be somewhere down in the mid-50s, I would think. And I'm going to have the tire pressure set to their door placard number. Let's pause real quick and take a look to see what that's going to be. Man, the friction brakes do not like engaging in this car. 33 PSI cold. And I'm going to run the climate control at 73 degrees auto. So, without any further ado, let's head to the gas station. Alright, we've got 3.294 gallons going in for our first fill. And this white elephant in front of us has just pulled in aggressively in order to get fuel. So, sorry that you have to look at that. In the meantime, let's get our climate control set at 73 degrees auto. And I don't know. I haven't actually played around with the menus too much in this car yet. So regarding some sort of fuel economy readout, how do you simply... Oh, wait, here we go. Fuel economy. I can move that. Oh. Put that there. And then let's do trip 1 to take up the clock. Okay, that's actually kind of cool. Can we reset that? Yep. Reset fuel economy. Let's reset trip 1. Okay, those are good. I think we're ready to begin. A few different drive modes here in the Nautilus. We have normal, conserve, excite, slippery, and deep conditions. We'll be doing this test in conserve. That's essentially an eco mode. And we're going to take it nice and easy over to the highway, about 0.5 miles away, and pick up the test from there. I think this is the first fuel economy test I've done for 2025, so pardon me if I'm a little bit rusty, a little bit tired tonight, heading out, 7:30 p.m. Hopefully it should be nice and smooth. Now, the goal of this test isn't to hypermile. We're not trying to get the best possible fuel economy for this car, but rather a realistic figure. So in order to do that, I'm getting up to highway speed here at a reasonable pace, and I'm going to set the cruise control to a GPS indicated. Oh wow, our GPS isn't working. I just now noticed that. Well, I guess we're not going to get an accurate average speed for this. Why isn't it not working? Huh. Okay. Well, we will be setting our cruise control to a GPS indicated 71 miles per hour. That should allow us to average 70 over the whole test. And we do have Lincoln's BlueCruise, which we will be enabling once we get kind of up and out of this traffic a little bit here. And that should allow us to have a pretty smooth 100-mile drive. anxious to test it out. I think if I remember correctly, the last one I used it on was, did I have an F-150 with BlueCruise? I can't remember. But I've heard that it's been maturing nicely, so I want to see how it does with this trip. Okay, technology having trouble waking up here for 2025 as well, but it looks like 71 on the dash is going to be where we should settle in for the foreseeable future. So let's get that going. Yes, BlueCruise. Hands-free driving. This is how highway driving should be here in 2025. So I'm going to continue on with the test out the Revel Ultima sound system, and get back with you at the end. In the meantime, enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. Coming into the end of the highway fuel economy test here in the Nautilus Hybrid. A lot to break down here. At first, I really loved using BlueCruise. However, after this trip, it is clear that it is not at the same level as GM's Super Cruise. It still is more like having a good teenage driver behind the wheel, but a teenage driver nonetheless. But what was more frustrating to me is that I would be looking at elements of the screen in front of me, looking at my fuel economy, for example, or changing the song on the radio, or getting a drink of water, or even trying to adjust my fan orientation, and the system would beep at me and say, keep your eyes on the road. I know they've got to draw this line somewhere of, okay, well, we need your eyes to be on the road for safety, but also, how are you supposed to interact with this vehicle with this 48-inch screen and all this tech, and even get a drink of water, if looking away briefly while still having your peripherals on the road creates this dampening of your music and beeping sound. So that's been frustrating to me. What else? The ride is not up to snuff in this car. It doesn't feel like a $70,000 vehicle. The way it bounces around, it's not damped well. However, a lot of the gimmicks I do like. I like the little perfume scent that's being blasted through the air vents, that you can change how much it's going, or even what smell. There's 3 different smells to choose from. What else? I like the seats and the materials and the adjustability there. I do wish you could get the steering wheel lower, though, because, I mean, there's no screen that it needs to see, so I don't understand why you can't lower that even more. Regarding fuel economy, we're getting 28.8 according to the vehicle's readout. Not quite what EPA says we should be getting, but I'm also not too terribly surprised. This is a hybrid crossover, and those rarely, if ever, achieve their EPA numbers at steady state speed like this. But it does say that we've used 7 miles of electricity, so, I mean, that's pretty good, I would say. In terms of attack shot, right lane hog, here you go. You get a mountain and water landscape. Honestly, kind of looks like coastal Southern California. What's kind of weird to me, though, is you see that it sort of has this moving scene where as you get going faster, it shows a little bit more what I guess is moonlight on the coast, and then that goes away as you get slower. But if you're staying within the speed limit, you never get to see the whole coastline lit up. So it's kind of abrupt and frustrating to me that you have that harsh line through there. It's not very visually appealing. It makes me want to go the max speed of the car so I can see the whole shore and the whole cove be lit up. All right, well, I'm going to get it back to the pump and fill it up with fuel, and then tomorrow morning in the daylight, I will break down the numbers with you. We are fueled back up. we ended up putting in a total of 3.262 gallons. Now, quick side note, I didn't mention earlier, but interestingly, you only have to put regular fuel in here. And some people are going to say, oh, you're using a turbocharged motor, you got to put premium. No, you don't. The EPA tested this on regular. It runs totally fine on regular. Essentially, this is the same engine that they would put into a number of the Fords, the 2-liter turbo. So you're going to be fine. If you're just cruising on the highway, run regularly. That's what the EPA used. That's what we used. And it's going to save you a good amount of cash. So let's bring up our calculator. We've got 100.3 miles traveled divided by that 3.262 gallons. Okay, quite a bit better than the vehicle's readout, actually. You all hate when I do this, but you know what? I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna do the mathematical round. Lincoln Nautilus, 31 MPG, just like the EPA says you're gonna get. In fact, was that the EPA? Yeah, 31 highway, 31 according to our testing, better than the vehicle's readout, and I would say not too bad of a number here for this size of crossover. Usually the hybrids don't quite achieve their fuel economy ratings, especially in crossover form like this. So nicely done, Nautilus. And you have a whopping 20-gallon fuel tank in here. So 20 gallons times that 31 MPG is giving you a very impressive 620 miles of cruising range on the highway here in the 2025 Lincoln Nautilus. All right, so if you can get past a few of the quirks, this is not too bad of a place to be for some highway driving. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Nautilus, check the link below. I'm just getting ready to shoot an infotainment review on this one. I don't know how it's going to go, and I'm really not sure how I'm going to do the camera angles, but we'll figure that out. We got our full review as well and the sound system tests. You can find all that linked below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, drive on.